Change is never easy, especially when it touches your home, your family, and your future. Today, thousands of Haitian families are facing a moment filled with uncertainty after the decision to end Haiti's temporary protected status. For many, this is not just a policy update, it is a life-changing announcement. Behind every legal term is a real person, a mother working 2 jobs, a father building a small business, a student dreaming of college. These are people who came here seeking safety, opportunity, and a chance to build something better. And now, they are being asked to look at their future once again. This moment may feel heavy, it may feel confusing, it may even feel unfair. But it is also a moment that calls for awareness, action, and courage. Guidance has been given. Lawful options must be explored. Decisions must be made carefully and wisely. Knowledge becomes power. Preparation becomes protection. The Haitian community has shown strength before, through disasters, through hardship, through loss. Resilience is not new to them, and it will not disappear now. What matters in times like this is unity, clarity, and determination to seek every possible legal path forward. This is not just about status. It is about dignity. It is about stability. It is about families who deserve clear information and the chance to stand on firm ground. Today we begin a conversation not rooted in fear, but in strength. Not in panic, but in purpose. Because even in uncertain times, hope is still alive, and lawful pathways still exist for those ready to take the next step. Sudden change can shake a person to the core. It can arrive without warning and turn ordinary days into nights filled with questions. For many Haitian families, the announcement about the end of temporary protected status did exactly that. One moment life felt stable, predictable, and moving forward. The next moment, everything felt uncertain. The ground beneath their feet seemed to shift. Plans they carefully built over years suddenly felt fragile. Imagine waking up and realizing that the permission that allowed you to work, provide, and live without constant fear may no longer be there. It is not just a legal notice. It is a wave of emotion. It is the racing heart of a father thinking about rent. It is the silent tears of a mother wondering what will happen to her children's school year. It is the confusion of a young adult who has grown up here and now feels unsure about where they belong. Sudden change brings shock first. People ask, what does this mean for me? How much time do I have? What should I do next? These questions do not come slowly. They rush in all at once. The mind becomes crowded. Fear can grow quickly in that space. But at the same time, something else begins to rise: determination. Haitian families are not strangers to hardship. They have lived through earthquakes, storms, political instability, and economic struggle. Many came to the United States carrying stories of survival. They came with hope in their hearts. They came ready to work hard, follow the law, and build something stable for their children. They did not come to give up, and they are not giving up now. When change feels sudden, it tests resilience. It forces people to dig deeper than they thought possible. It pushes communities to come together. Churches become louder with prayer. Living rooms become spaces for long discussions about next steps. Friends share information. Neighbors support each other. In times of uncertainty, unity becomes strength. There is something powerful about people who refuse to be broken by sudden news. Yes, there is fear. Yes, there is worry. But there is also courage. Courage to ask questions. Courage to seek legal advice. Courage to explore every possible lawful path forward. Courage to stand tall even when the future looks unclear. Sudden change also reminds us how valuable stability truly is. The ability to work legally is not just paperwork. It is dignity. It is the pride of paying bills on time. It is the joy of sending money home to family. It is the freedom to drive to work without looking over your shoulder. When that stability feels threatened, emotions rise quickly. But within those emotions lives a powerful truth. People fight hardest for what they love. Haitian families love their children's dreams. They love the idea of education, safety, and opportunity. They love the belief that tomorrow can be better than yesterday. That love becomes fuel. It becomes energy that pushes them to learn more, to prepare better, to act wisely. Sudden change can feel like a storm. Loud, fast, unpredictable. But storms do not last forever, and after storms, communities often stand stronger than before. They rebuild, they adapt, they grow. This moment, painful as it may be, can also become a turning point. It can become a time when families become more informed, more prepared, and more united. There is something deeply inspiring about watching people face uncertainty with bravery. Instead of freezing, they move. Instead of hiding, they seek answers. Instead of losing hope, they hold on to it tighter. That is strength. That is resilience. That is the spirit that has carried Haitian families through so much before. Sudden change does not define a community. Response defines a community. And right now what we are seeing is not weakness. We are seeing people standing up. We are seeing parents determined to protect their children's future. We are seeing workers committed to following the law and finding solutions. We are seeing a community that refuses to let fear have the final word. Even in the middle of uncertainty, hope still breathes. It lives in conversations around dinner tables. It lives in phone calls to legal offices. It lives in shared prayers and shared plans. Sudden change may shake confidence for a moment, but it cannot erase resilience built over a lifetime. The emotional weight of losing temporary protected status is not something you can measure on paper. It is not just about a document or a legal category. It is about security. It is about breathing without fear. It is about waking up in the morning knowing you can go to work, drop your children at school, and return home without anxiety sitting on your shoulders. For many Haitian families, TPS was more than temporary protection. It became a foundation. It allowed parents to build stable routines. It gave workers the chance to earn honestly and support their loved ones. It gave young people the confidence to dream about college, careers, and a future that felt possible. When something like that is taken away, the feeling is heavy. It presses on the heart. There is a quiet fear that enters the room when people talk about losing TPS. It shows up in worried faces and long silences. It shows up in children asking questions their parents struggle to answer. Are we going to be okay? Will we have to leave? These questions carry deep emotion. Parents want to be strong. They want to say everything will be fine. But inside, they may be carrying uncertainty too. Losing TPS can feel like losing control. For years, families followed the rules. They renewed their status. They paid fees. They worked legally. They contributed to their communities. They became part of neighborhoods, churches, workplaces, and schools. Then suddenly, they are told that the protection they depended on will end. That shift brings shock, sadness, and sometimes even anger. These emotions are real. They are human. But within that emotional weight, there is also something powerful. There is love. The love parents feel for their children becomes stronger than fear. The desire to protect family becomes louder than uncertainty. That love pushes people to stay informed, to seek advice, and to look for lawful options. It pushes them to act instead of freeze. The emotional pain also reminds us how much people have built. You do not feel heavy unless something truly matters. The tears, the sleepless nights, the worried conversations all show that families care deeply about their lives here. They have invested years of effort. They have built relationships and memories. That kind of investment does not disappear easily. It is important to recognize that feeling afraid does not mean being weak. Feeling overwhelmed does not mean giving up. Emotions are natural when the future feels unclear. The key is not to let those emotions take control. The key is to turn fear into motivation, to turn anxiety into preparation, to turn sadness into strength. Haitian families have already proven their resilience. They have faced challenges before and moved forward with courage. Losing TPS may feel like a setback, but it does not erase their hard work or their worth. It does not erase their contributions. It does not erase their dreams. there is strength in community. When one family feels overwhelmed, another family offers support. When one person feels lost, another shares information. Churches, community groups, and friends become pillars during emotional times. Together, the weight feels lighter. Together, solutions feel possible. The emotional journey is not simple. It moves from shock to fear to determination. Some days may feel heavy, some nights may feel long, but in the middle of that emotional storm, hope still lives. It lives in the belief that lawful paths can be explored. It lives in the courage to seek guidance. It lives in the strength that has carried Haitian families through every challenge before. When the Department of Homeland Security makes a decision, it is not just a sentence written on a website. It is not just an announcement in the news. It carries real power. It affects real families. The decision to end Haiti's temporary protected status came from this federal agency, and with that decision came a wave of emotion across communities. Policies may be written in formal language, but their impact is deeply human. The Department of Homeland Security is responsible for overseeing immigration and protection in the United States. It looks at national conditions, safety concerns, and legal standards. When it decides to grant or end temporary protected status, it does so based on its review of circumstances in a country. But for the families who live under that status, it feels personal. It feels immediate. It feels life-changing. For years, TPS allowed Haitian nationals to live and work legally in the United States. It offered protection from deportation and the ability to support families with dignity. That protection was granted under the authority of the Department of Homeland Security. Now the same authority has decided to end it. This shift reminds us how powerful government decisions are. They can open doors. They can close doors. They can create opportunity. They can create uncertainty. It is important to understand that government agencies operate within laws and procedures. They follow regulations and timelines. The decision to end TPS did not happen in isolation. It came after review, discussion, and evaluation. But even when decisions follow legal processes, the emotional impact on people can still be intense. Families do not experience policies as paperwork. They experience them as changes in daily life. When people hear that the Department of Homeland Security has terminated TPS for Haiti, many feel shock. Some feel confusion. Others feel frustration. They ask why. They wonder what factors led to this conclusion. These questions are natural. They show that people care about their future. They want clarity. They want understanding. At the same time, recognizing the role of this agency helps people focus on what comes next. If one decision has been made under the law, then other legal options may still exist under the law as well. Immigration law is complex, but it is not limited to one pathway. There may be other forms of relief, other visas, other protections. Understanding that the Department of Homeland Security oversees a broad system can give people direction. It encourages them to seek accurate information and qualified legal advice. The power of an agency like this can feel overwhelming. It can make individuals feel small. But history shows that informed communities are stronger than fear. When people learn their rights, understand timelines, and act within the law, they regain control over their situation. Knowledge becomes a tool. Preparation becomes a shield. This moment also reminds us that immigration policy is not static. It can change with new administrations, new evaluations, and new circumstances. Decisions made today may be reviewed in the future. Policies can shift again. That reality calls for patience and resilience. It calls for awareness and engagement. While the Department of Homeland Security holds authority, communities hold strength. Families hold determination. Workers hold dignity. Students hold dreams. Policies shape conditions, but they do not define the spirit of a people. Haitian families have faced powerful systems before and still found ways to move forward. Understanding the role of the Department of Homeland Security helps separate emotion from action. It allows people to see the structure behind the decision. It encourages them to respond wisely instead of reacting in panic. It reminds them that even within a system of laws and agencies, there are still processes, options, and steps that can be taken. When news like this breaks, people do not just look for headlines. They look for guidance. They look for clear steps. They look for someone to explain what happens next. That is where U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services becomes important. When Haiti's temporary protected status was terminated, this agency stepped forward to provide official information, instructions, and timelines. For families searching for clarity, that guidance matters deeply. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is the agency responsible for handling immigration benefits. It processes applications, reviews petitions, and provides updates on lawful status options. When TPS ends, USCIS explains what that means for work permits, deadlines, and possible next steps. These details are not small. They affect jobs, schools, housing, and daily life. Having accurate information directly from the source helps reduce confusion. In moments of uncertainty, rumors spread fast. Social media fills with mixed messages. Some posts create panic, others create false hope. That is why official guidance from USCIS becomes powerful. It gives facts instead of fear. It outlines timelines instead of guesses. It helps people understand exactly how much time they may have and what documents need attention. For many Haitian families, the first question is about work authorization. Can they still work? For how long? Do they need to renew something? USCIS provides answers about Employment Authorization Documents and validity periods. Those answers bring a sense of structure to an emotional moment. Even if the news is difficult, knowing the timeline allows families to plan. Another important part of USCIS guidance is encouraging individuals to explore lawful pathways. The agency does not simply announce an end. It points toward other legal possibilities. That may include family-based petitions, employment-based visas, asylum claims, or other forms of relief depending on individual circumstances. Every case is different. Every story is unique. But knowing that options exist keeps hope alive. Information can feel empowering. When people understand their situation clearly, fear becomes smaller. They begin to ask the right questions. They start gathering documents. They seek professional legal advice. They take action instead of waiting in silence. That shift from confusion to clarity changes everything. USCIS also provides updates through its website, official statements, and notices. These updates are meant to guide people step by step. Reading directly from official sources reduces misunderstanding. It keeps families focused on real deadlines instead of rumors. In times like this, reliable information becomes one of the most valuable tools a person can have. Fear and hope can exist in the same heart at the same time. That is what many Haitian families are feeling right now. On one side, there is fear of the unknown, fear of deadlines, fear of losing stability, fear of what tomorrow might bring. On the other side, there is hope. Hope that there is still a path forward. Hope that lawful options can be found. Hope that strength and unity will carry them through. Fear is natural when life feels uncertain. It shows up in quiet moments. It whispers questions late at night. It makes simple decisions feel heavy. Parents may worry about their children's future. Workers may worry about their jobs. Students may worry about their education. These fears are real. They are human. They come from love and responsibility. But hope is just as real. Hope rises when families sit together and talk about next steps. It rises when someone shares helpful information. It rises when a community leader reminds everyone to stay calm and informed. Hope grows when people remember how much they have already survived. The Haitian community has faced enormous challenges before: natural disasters, economic hardship, political instability. Many who came to the United States did so after experiencing deep loss. Yet they rebuilt. They worked hard. They supported each other. That history proves something powerful. This community does not give up easily. Resilience is not just a word. It is a lived experience. It is waking up early to work long hours. It is sending money home to family. It is studying at night after a full day of work. It is staying strong for children, even when you feel worried inside. That resilience is still alive today. When fear feels loud, community becomes stronger. Churches open their doors. Community groups hold meetings. Friends call each other to share updates. Lawyers are consulted. Questions are asked. Instead of isolating themselves, many families lean into unity. They understand that shared strength is greater than individual fear. There is something inspiring about watching hope push back against uncertainty. It does not ignore reality. It does not pretend everything is perfect. Instead, it says, "We will face this together." It says, "We will look for lawful solutions." It says, "We will not let panic control our decisions." Young people in the Haitian community are also showing courage. Some have grown up in the United States. They speak English fluently. They attend schools and dream big dreams. Even when they feel confused about their future, they continue studying. They continue planning. That determination is powerful. Hope also grows through information. When families learn about legal options, timelines, and resources, they feel less helpless. They begin to see possibility instead of only risk. They realize that fear becomes smaller when replaced with action. At the same time, it is important to acknowledge the emotional weight. Smiles may hide anxiety. Strong voices may carry silent worry. That is why compassion within the community matters so much. Encouraging words, shared meals, and simple conversations can lift heavy hearts. The Haitian spirit is known for strength, faith, and endurance. Even in difficult times, songs are sung, prayers are whispered, families gather close. That cultural strength does not disappear during uncertainty. It becomes brighter. Fear may be present. It may feel heavy some days, but hope stands right beside it. Hope says that resilience is stronger than doubt. Hope says that unity is stronger than isolation. Hope says that even in challenging times, a determined community can rise, adapt, and move forward with courage. In moments like this, informed decisions become more important than ever. When policies change and uncertainty rises, the strongest move a person can make is to seek knowledge. Rushing into fear does not protect the future. Careful planning does. For Haitian families facing the end of temporary protected status, the path forward must be built on understanding, not panic. The immigration system is complex. It has many categories, many requirements, and many deadlines. One small mistake can create serious consequences. That is why seeking accurate information is not just helpful, it is necessary. Listening to rumors or social media guesses can lead to wrong choices. Trusted legal advice and official sources must guide every step. There are lawful pathways that may exist depending on individual situations. Some people may qualify for family-based petitions. Others may explore employment-based visas. Some may have asylum options. Every story is different. That is why comparing one case to another can be dangerous. What works for one family may not work for another. The key is personal guidance from qualified professionals. Making informed decisions also means acting early. Waiting until the last moment can increase stress and reduce options. Gathering documents, reviewing immigration history, checking expiration dates, and speaking with attorneys takes time. Preparation creates calm. It allows families to move step by step instead of running under pressure. It takes courage to face legal reality. Some answers may be difficult to hear. Not every option will be available to everyone. But avoiding the truth does not improve the situation. Facing it directly does. When people understand their exact position under the law, they gain control. Even if the path is narrow, it is still a path. Community support also plays an important role in informed decision-making. Sharing verified information helps everyone. Attending legal workshops, asking questions, reading official updates carefully. These actions build confidence. They reduce confusion. They protect families from scams or false promises. Unfortunately, in times of immigration uncertainty, fraud increases. Some people take advantage of fear. They promise fast solutions. They ask for large sums of money. They claim guaranteed results. That is why informed decisions require caution. Only licensed immigration attorneys or accredited representatives should provide legal advice. Trust must be placed carefully. No one can control every policy decision, but everyone can control how they respond. Seeking knowledge, asking the right questions, and making careful legal choices keeps families grounded. It turns confusion into strategy. It turns stress into focus. And it keeps hope connected to reality through responsible action. Strength is not just about standing tall when everything is easy. Real strength shows when life feels uncertain and the future looks unclear. This is one of those moments. Haitian families are being asked to face change, to face questions, and to face decisions that affect their homes and their children. But inside this challenge, there is a powerful opportunity to rise with courage. Unity becomes more important than ever during times like this. When one person feels overwhelmed, another can lift them up. When one family feels confused, another can share information. Communities grow stronger when they refuse to let fear divide them. Churches, neighbors, friends, and relatives can become pillars of support. Conversations around kitchen tables, shared prayers, and group meetings all build a network of strength. No one should feel alone in this moment. Courage does not mean you are not afraid. Courage means you move forward even when you are afraid. It means asking hard questions. It means seeking legal advice. It means preparing documents and exploring lawful options. It means protecting your family with wisdom instead of panic. That kind of courage is powerful. It sends a message to children that challenges can be faced with dignity. There is something deeply inspiring about parents who refuse to give up on their children's dreams. A mother who continues to encourage her child to study hard. A father who keeps working and planning despite uncertainty. These quiet acts of determination are not small. They are acts of love. They show that even when policies change, values remain strong. Unity also means sharing hope. Words matter. When people speak with calm confidence instead of fear, others feel stronger. Encouraging someone to stay informed, to stay prepared, and to stay hopeful can change their entire mindset. Communities that choose hope create a different atmosphere. They replace panic with planning. They replace despair with determination. Faith has always been a source of strength in the Haitian community. In difficult times, prayers become deeper, songs become louder, hearts become closer. That spiritual resilience cannot be taken away by any policy decision. It lives inside people. It reminds them that hardship does not last forever. It reminds them that tomorrow can still hold possibility. Courage also means believing in your own worth. Haitian families have contributed so much. They work hard, they pay taxes, they support businesses, they enrich neighborhoods with culture, food, music, and faith. Their presence has value. Their effort has meaning. Remembering that worth helps protect confidence during uncertain times. Young people in the community are watching how adults respond. They are learning what resilience looks like. When they see calm action instead of panic, they learn strength. When they see unity instead of division, they learn solidarity. When they see courage instead of silence, they learn leadership. This moment can shape the next generation in powerful ways. Choosing unity and courage does not mean ignoring reality. It means facing it together. It means standing side by side. It means saying, "We will move forward step by step." It means trusting that informed decisions, shared support, and steady determination will carry the community through. Even when the road feels uncertain, walking it together makes it lighter. Every conversation, every shared resource, every word of encouragement builds momentum. Strength grows when people refuse to isolate themselves. It grows when they choose connection. This moment may feel heavy, but it does not define the future. The future will be shaped by action, by unity, and by courage. Haitian families have already proven that they know how to endure and rebuild. That same spirit is alive now. It is visible in determined faces. It is heard in steady voices. It is felt in hearts that refuse to surrender to fear.